Muy buenos días, ¿qué tal estáis? Os podéis mirar el reloj, son y 27, pero es que la energía que hay en esta sala, con tanta tensión, tantos nervios y tantas ganas de empezar, nos está pidiendo que comencemos ya, que no dejemos un segundo más para disfrutar de lo que viene a continuación. Hoy es un día muy importante porque es el colofón de todo lo que ha ocurrido a lo largo de los últimos meses, en los cuales fueron 14 los equipos de personas que se presentaban al workshop de NXLB Generation en su quinta edición. De ellos, 6, solo 6, de 14, solo 6 han conseguido llegar a la final. Llevan 8 semanas dándolo todo, experimentando con las nuevas tecnologías y trabajando para prototipar su proyecto. Hoy es el día en el que van a hacer esa presentación, en el que nos van a mostrar todo lo que han conseguido hacer a lo largo de este periodo. Es un día bonito en el cual ya queremos daros la enhorabuena. ¿Esto? Música celestial. Es un buen síntoma. Vamos a ver aquí cachitos de cielo, porque aquí hay ganas, hay energía y, eso sí, lo que queremos hacer en primer lugar es, con música celestial o sin música celestial, darles un aplauso por todo lo que han conseguido hasta hoy. Bueno, esto es lo bonito, ahora os contamos. No os queremos poner nerviosos, pero se juegan mucho. Lo dejamos ahí. Entre otras cuestiones, se juegan el tener una acreditación para ir a la NXLB del 2025 para uno de los representantes del equipo y además también tener la oportunidad de realizar una presentación dentro de la conferencia que NXLB Generation tiene en este festival. Así que esa es una gran oportunidad que conseguirán 3 de los 6 equipos que hoy nos van a presentar sus trabajos. ¿Quiénes los van a juzgar? El jurado, que mira, que está aquí plenamente atento a lo que va a ocurrir. Son Tigran Arequilian, James Castillo y María Luquero. ¿Os levantáis? Que os vean bien, que os inspeccionen. Tienen un papel hoy difícil, también una larguísima trayectoria y profunda que muchos conocéis. Brevísimamente os contaré que Tigran es director artístico y cofundador de On-Off, el estudio armenio que ha realizado, entre otros proyectos, el largometraje Saco, realizado íntegramente con Quill. Además, ha trabajado en más de 10 películas, incluida la aclamada Aurora's Sunrise. Él os va a observar atentamente, igual que James Castillo, originario de aquí, de Madrid, ha trabajado por supuesto en este país, pero también en Singapur, Inglaterra, Francia, Estados Unidos. Ha colaborado con estudios de prestigio como Sony Pictures, Nickelodeon y Netflix, como diseñador, director de arte y artista de storyboards. Es el director de Madrid Noir, la película de realidad virtual aclamada, entre otros, y premiada. Ha conseguido el Emmy 2022 y además es el fundador de Martirio Films. Él es el segundo miembro del jurado que hoy presentamos, pero además contamos con María Luquero, con una dilatada trayectoria en la industria de la animación. Ha coordinado la producción en proyectos destacados como Poco Yo, Tadeo Jones o El Ranchito VFX. Ahora está dirigiendo su episodio piloto de su primera serie original, Titan Tofu, y también desarrolla su marca personal en Luquero Studio. Hoy pasan a tener ese otro rol en su vida, que es jurado de los diferentes proyectos. Y como no queremos ya dilatarlo y sé que queréis comenzar, vamos a empezar. La dinámica es sencilla, son 5 minutos para presentar el proyecto, para contarnos cómo han llegado a este punto y luego mostrarnos el prototipo, su proyecto, su trabajo realizado. Yo diré poco. Básicamente, para no influir al jurado, ¿qué les voy a influir yo? Da igual, ¿no? Pero realmente ellos tienen su juicio, pero por si acaso, chitón. Una breve frase de recogida y ahí la evaluación para todos vosotros, que también podéis jugar a ser jurados, pero ellos son los de verdad, los que van a dar su veredicto al final del día. Así que, sin más, vamos a empezar. ¿Listos? ¿Listas? ¿Con ganas? Así, así. Unos dicen que sí, otros así, así. Hay que estar hoy listos, preparados. Alberto Andrés rompe el hielo. Rollin Punkis.
Good morning, I'm Alberto Andrés, and I am the director and lead animator of Rollin Punkis, or as I would say it in Spanish, Rollin Punkis. The title of the project is quite self-explanatory. It tells the story of a band of punks that like to roller skate. Their story is set in a solar punk universe in which the sun disappears. And what happens if the sun, I mean the solar part, goes away? That the only thing we have left is punk. That's why our characters decide to form a band of punks. For them, punk music is a way to bring each other light and warmth in a very dark world, but also a way to express their feelings of anger and frustration, which are mostly headed towards Solar, this company that you see here. Solar sells little spheres, such as this one, that contain the light and the energy of the sun, which they think is totally unfair, since they still remember the time when this was free and available for everyone, as it is today. Bueno, el cambio de... Our hope is that one day Rollin Punkis will become a series, but for now it's just a short film that acts as an appetizer for their whole universe. It's actually not only a short film and an appetizer, but also a music video, because we were lucky enough to compose their first original song with the help of some friends. So the project is actually a 3 minutes 2D animated music video. Our target is mostly millennials and Gen Z, since the feeling at Rollin Punkis. ¿Se me oye bien o no se me está...? Hola. Yes. Is climate anxiety. This is a very weird feeling that we've grown up with as a generation, and we know that the idea of the sun disappearing might sound absurd, but so is growing up with the certainty of climate change and still seeing that nothing is actually changing to prevent it. The music video tells the story of Red, our protagonist, just before and after she steals one of these spheres. However, we never get to see on screen the exact moment in which she steals it. That's why we decided to take this opportunity at NXLB to fill that gap and actually show you how that happens. These are some of the sketches of the storyboard. Another one of our goals was to actually use the music, since we already have it, and we think it's one of our strengths. The song is really good. And also to tell you a bit of the backstory of the protagonist. This was quite an ambitious idea, since the team of the project was only me and Silvia. I did all the part in Quill, animating and modeling, and she did the part in Blender, mostly lightning and compositing. The thing is, we had never used before any of these softwares, but actually our main antagonist was time. Because we were doing a narrative-driven video, we couldn't cut anything away or else it would feel incomplete. That's why we just had to keep going and blindly trust the process. It's like in the picture that we are skating forward, not knowing where we are going, because we were wearing the Oculus, obviously, so we were totally blind. And when I mean that we had to blindly trust the process, I really mean it, because this was my first attempt at modeling the character, and it took me a lot of time. But soon things started to get a bit better, and we started to get the hang of the tools. The process also changed quite a lot. This, for example, was my first set done in Quill, which I like, but it's not exactly the look that we wanted for our video. And it was because my approach was closer to typical or classical 3D modeling. This environment works from all the perspectives, but it's not what we wanted, so I had to kind of rewire my brain and change what to expect from a 3D software. Yeah, as you can see there, I started using Quill more as a way to illustrate in 3D, which meant that some of the shots, as this one, looked very ugly from some perspectives, but then from the camera angle, they would work and would get us closer to the look and feel that we actually wanted. After I was done with my scenes in Quill, I would send them to Silvia, and she would add the camera movements, the lights, and the compositing, which was the last step to take the shots to the next level. Here you can see the comparison before and after compositing. And it's interesting because all the shots were done chronologically. So in a way, the video doesn't only tell the story of Red stealing the sphere, but also our own journey and process using Quill and here at NXLB, because you can actually see on screen how we get to find the style and the look that we actually wanted. And if you want to know what happens after Red steals the sphere, you just have to wait until the music video comes out one day, si Dios lo permite. And if you want that day to come sooner, you can help us with co-production or funding. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the pitches because they are awesome.
Que vivan los punkis. Hasta ahí. Babu está preparada, Babu Matsusaki, y también Gabriela Dínez, que vienen dispuestos a contarnos The Echoes of Drowning. So, let's go.
Hola, hola.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Hi, I'm Gabriela Diniz.
And I'm Babu Matsuzaki. We are from Hilda Motion, and we are here to present to you our project, Echoes of Drowning, which is the first chapter of the video game horror trilogy named Echoes. Have you ever come face to face with death? Even though we are talking about horror here, I'm not talking about paranormal stuff. I'm talking about something very real, something that we all have to deal at some point in life with the loss of someone we love. I had many encounters with death through my life, but the one that stuck with me the most was the first one with the tragic loss of my younger sister. Dealing with death, dealing with grief, was anything but linear. It was a completely chaos. And I always wondered, if that was the case for me, how it must have been like for my mother, losing a child like that. I don't think there is greater horror than that. That, to me, is true horror. So, in Echoes of Drowning, we are going to be put in the place of a mother who on a stormy night loses her daughter in a very unexpected, but most importantly, an unnatural way. Now you, as the mother, is going to begin the search for the daughter. But of course, like the process of grief, the path is going to be chaotic.
Echoes is a horror video game in a VR technique with its main audience being adults, and it's currently in development.
Our project was ambitious from the start. We first planned to do 37 shots, which is a lot, but we really wanted to make this fast pacing for this chaotic mood. So at the end, we were able to do 26 shots, which was essential for us to maintain this true to our story.
Because of its niche experimental nature, what you're about to see is much more of a proof of concept of the game's mood rather than a traditional gameplay structure. Because of that, there can be sudden camera changes, unexpected environmental manipulations in order to make you, the player, feel as if you're part of something bigger than the game itself. Because it's VR, it gets even more immersive as the player is set in this virtual world, making it all more personal and unsettling. When I'm talking about camera changes, it can go from a first-person point of view to a third-person point of view and even to the daughter's perspective, or to unexpected camera angles, All of those combined with quick time events connects the dissociative narrative to the randomness of the gameplay. The project took 300 hours in total for its completion. That time was mostly split equally between Blender and Quill, and that is because Blender was very essential for the final look as well. And all of that knowledge marked us permanently, literally and figuratively. So because of that, at first we were very overwhelmed by it, but once we got the hang of things, we found out Quill was perfect for organic modeling, such as the entities. These are Brazilian folklore creatures inspired by it, and as for animation, we did in a very organic way, mostly dictated by Quill's ability to animate with the grad tool, making it all more natural and unsettling. As for the mother and daughter, the animation took a more traditional approach, as we did similarly to stop motion animation, and also similar to stop motion animation.
Yeah.
As for the natural elements, Quill made it as easy as it can get. But it wasn't manageable in grand scale in Quill, so for that, we turned to Blender, using its geometry nodes for instances, fog, and volumetric lighting, which were essential for the final mood, and the compositing tool. All of those were very important for the final mood of this damp, oppressive forest, filled with cultural symbolism and the process of loss.
Horror isn't just about what you see, it's also about what you hear and feel. Because of that, sound design and editing play a very important role in our project, because every sound and the right cut can make the audience feel more pulled into this immersive experience. You're going to see now our teaser that serves as a proof of concept for this chaotic search, and you're going to see the moment of the mother losing the child and the search for her. So let's see where she goes. But before that, I just want to leave you with one more question. What scares you the most? The pain of death or the pain of grief? Thank you.
Thank you.
Peekaboo, I see you. Peekaboo, yes I do. Peekaboo, I see you. Peekaboo.
Wow. Y ahora, la siguiente presentación que corresponde a Irene Franco y Lucía Rovira. Nos hace una pregunta. ¿Dónde está mi lápiz amarillo? ¿Dónde está?
Hello, I am Irene Franco, director and animator of this project.
Hello, I'm Lulelia, illustrator and the author of Where is My Yellow Pencil, a graphic novel about a girl called Rita She's 5 years old, and she lost her beloved pencil.
So we will eventually adapt this in a 2D and 3D animated short film with a runtime of 5 minutes and for an audience aged 5 to 7.
Rita lives in the suburbs of Buenos Aires, where we also spent our childhood. She's always looking for new experience and she's very curious, and additionally, she has another quality that makes her have more adventures, and it's that she's very messy. She's inspired by different characters, but the truth is that she's my alter ego. But it's funny to see a 5-year-old girl losing whatever she's looking for, than a 37-year-old woman who lost, for example, her hotel keys, like it happens to me today. So, yes, it happened. It's nice to see this girl getting out of her room and discovering whatever is outside.
So with this story, we want to show you the world as we knew it when we were child. Our neighborhood, our pets, our friends, the people who were important for us. And also you realize we grow up seeing on the cartoons, on the TV, elephants and giraffes and realities created far away from us. So for this is our way to show you things more proximal to our reality, like the animals and landscapes in Argentina. It's our way to link with our culture and put in value our culture and things from our country. This will be an adventure, but also the story of our research, not only for the yellow pencil, but the world and the magic possibilities around it.
The simple elements, the synthetic backgrounds, and the use of the strokes, and also the reduced chromatic, help us to focus on the action, the relation that Rita has with her environment, and as well the glasses, the broken glasses that she has because she's a little bit clumsy like me, help us to stand up the dramatic scenes, because it's a dramatic moment, losing a pencil. For her, it is. The way that the yellow color appears, it's like the way that we know that she's reaching the treasure of her. The thing that I did is starting with a pencil, like the one that Rita lost, and later I start to handwriting with digital brushes. But later, with NXLB experience, it took depth because the character now has another kind of movements, because I had think about the different lip sync. I had to create new movements, new views for the different cameras, and also expressions. I also incorporate the music with an ukulele and a guitar, and also the sounds of those places in Buenos Aires and whatever, the birds and anything of this.
I work with Quill, I work in animation, and I believe Quill is a great tool for people who have not experience in animation as myself. because I love to achieve rapid results and helps me to be focused in the artistic vision of the project and not get blocked with the technical issues. And also the possibility of hand drawing brings us the aesthetic, the handmade aesthetic that we was looking for. And now I will talk about the process. In gray, you can see the first moment and the first connection with the tool, or the moment to not die, continue to the workshop. After, in yellow, is the first prototype, the time I spent making the first prototypes in 3D. And the strong yellow, you can see the period where I work with the final look and when I have already the backgrounds and the final prototype of the project. I spent already 280 hours, and we can call also the Choperreo Sola moments in my life, because I work alone a lot of time, listening Bad Bunny. Well, I initially explored the 3D aesthetic, but I was not happy with this, because I can't imagine Rita in this way. So thanks to the tutoring, I take the decision to come to the beginning and work in Rita in this way, in 2D. And that's helped me to think about the mix of the two techniques. And I take the decision to mix, well, to the final result, 3D and 2D for the short film. I lost you. In the short film, I try to convey the feeling of reading the graphic novel in the way the short film is structured. Yes, I try to copy the sensation of reading the graphic novel in the way we see the short film. And the workspace in Quill helps me a lot to see how to create this sensation. And using the blender to create the camera movements helps me out too. I use Quill for everything, design, the paint and everything, and I only use Blender to the camera to get these results. Well, this starts with a graphic novel, then becomes in a short film. We think we can work in a series in the future, and also we are interested to apply to Ibermedia Next. If someone is interested, we can talk later. Thank you very much, and we hope you enjoy the teaser we prepared for you.
¡Mamá!
¿Qué?
¿Viste mi lápiz amarillo?
Fíjate en la mochila, en el sillón.
Acá no está mi mochila. Tampoco mi cartuchera. Machi, ¿viste mi lápiz amarillo? Es un palito que pinta de amarillo. ¡Abu! ¡Abu!
¿Qué?
¿Viste mi lapicito?
¿Un lapachito?
Que estaba en una mochilita.
Montañita. Sí, en el sur.
Ah, creo que la veo. ¿Sabe dónde anda? ¿Alguien sabe dónde está mi lápiz amarillo?
Sorry, I still haven't found the pencil, so if you can help me, maybe under the chairs, if you can... See? No, this is blue. No, I need... No, this is a cream?
Creo que alguien más podría ayudarnos.
Yes.
Gracias.
I don't know. Please, it's very important. No? No? Okay.
Next time.
You tell me later.
Le deseamos suerte a Rita, ¿verdad? Que encuentre el lápiz. Ahora llega Aroa Talents Ferris. Nos pone a rezar. Padre nuestro, que estáis en el cielo.
¿Se me escucha? Antes tú me pichabas, ahora yo picheo. Hello, my name is Aroa and I'm going to present my feature film project, Padre, nuestro, que estáis en los cielos. How can we free ourselves from the echoes of a silence never broken? According to the Ministry of the Interior, in 2021, more than 8,000 cases of sexual abuse to children were reported in Spain. Studies indicate that only 50% of these cases are reported, and 84% in 84% of the cases, the perpetrator is someone known to the child. I grew up in a religious environment, and my household was quite hostile. So at the school, Christian youth organized summer camps and weekly activities, creating spaces of community, but the leaders often took roles as spiritual guides, creating also hierarchies with power dynamics. It's here where the story takes place. This film explores childhood vulnerability and the scars that abuse left. Through 3 timelines, we follow the protagonist, who from depressive state due to the recent loss of her uncle, the only adult she could trust, reflects on how she became a victim of abuse, how it happened, and why no one spoke up. This film it's a 2D animation feature film with an estimated duration of 90 minutes, drama and magical realism, and to young adults and adults. The narrative is structured around 3 distinct spaces and timelines. We begin with the protagonist in the present, reflecting on her childhood moments at the summer camps and her memories at home. And the Night of Glory Mass, where the abuse is explicitly materialized. And it happens at among the whole film, intercalating with the reflection and the memories. From the bathtub at her home, she confesses what she couldn't say in life, in a dialogue that connects all the 3 timelines between her childhood memories and the Mass. The use of magical realism represents her inner world through visual elements. For the workshop, I focused on how to adapt my 2D style to the 3D space offered by the tool. I see great potential in create the mystical atmosphere I wanted for the mass space, and that's why I decided to design an animatic that, although it only represents the mass space, will give a glimpse of what the film was about and spark the audience attention. I wanted the teaser to show the feeling of the film without explaining too much. So we start in the church. The main character is praying, and slowly the altar changes into a wild meadow. mixing reality and memory. Someone sits next to her in silence, and a dove comes out from her hands. When this person whispers to her, the dove flies away. Then we see the Easter bonfire. People are together, but she feels alone. The dove flies into the fire and disappears. Something inside her is lost. Since I was working alone in this project, I created a space that will be reused in multiple scenes, and I really enjoyed the animation process because it feels like a mix of stop motion and traditional painting, with the advantage of not having to purchase all the materials that stop motion requires. In total, I work around 250 hours, 220 hours on tool adaptation, 3D modeling, and animation, which was the part that I enjoyed the most, and 30 hours in post-production and rendering. We can see the before and after with the rendering in Blender Eevee. I used nodes to create this magical feeling with the glares and nodes. And I want to say that this film aims to give a voice to the 80% of the cases that, like mine, were never reported. I want to highlight and reflect on the mistaken image we have of an abuser as a dark figure lurking in hallways, when often it's someone normal, well-liked, and present in our lives. This project seeks to break the silence, and even it may create discomfort, speak up. What I'm looking for, Padre, nuestro, que estáis en los cielos, is currently in development, and I'm looking for support, funding, collaboration with an animation studio and co-producers, and people who want to join me in this journey. Thank you very much for your attention.
Gracias, Aroa. Es el turno ahora de Fran Diolano, que llega con Ashes, con ese proyecto que ahora nos enseña el teaser y que tenemos ganas de escucharle y luego de ver su trabajo. Así que adelante, Fran.
Hello, everyone. I'm Fran Diolano, and before I talk about my project, I actually need this. Sorry about that. Before I talk about my project, I would like to talk about this picture. This is my brother, this is my dad, and that's me. My dad passed away 10 years ago, and he left me and my brother his last will, which was to spread his ashes at the Gibraltar's cliff, where he had great times in his youth. But coming from Argentina, this is quite a hard challenge. So some years passed, and then I finally moved to Europe. We were ready to plan this trip. So my brother should bring the ashes from Argentina, and we would both meet in Spain. We met in Spain, and the first thing my brother tells me is that he didn't bring the ashes due to bureaucratic issues. So he was supposed to, he could have told me. We could have figured it out together, but he didn't. This all made me wonder, what does it mean to be brothers? This is what my short film is about: brotherhood, role model dynamics, and expectations. Imagine actually the two brothers got to that train to Gibraltar with the ashes. The situation is tense, they haven't spoken to each other in a long time, and they can't speak now. So until a little monkey shows up, grabs the ashes, and runs off through the train. Now the two brothers would have to go towards getting back the ashes and travel around the train. So as they go and move forward, the train will start to morph and things will start to get weird as they feel strong emotions. At the end, the young brother would open the last door and find himself at the cliffs, and he will have to make a choice to get back the ashes or go back and save his brother that got lost in the train. This is a fantastic drama, a 3D animated short film, and it's aimed to whoever has siblings and problems with them. As we started NXLB, we didn't have anything else but the pitch and the story. So we quickly have to figure out what to do. Originally, I wanted to do this full animated scene, the one I just pitched, where the brothers encounter each other and explore the interactions between them before and after the monkey shows up. But there was a problem in my team. There is no animators. So then we quickly changed to making a teaser that we could portray the mood and the feeling of the project without giving away too much information, so you, the audience, would want to watch more of it. So we did this technical script as a base, and then we kept changing shots and moving things around. And then I did quickly some fast storyboards and some character designs. So now I was ready to work on Quill. And as you can see, Quill can be quite frustrating to start off. And it took me somewhat of 3 days to get to a model I was happy with it, and it could be a good prototype for my pitch. So then something interesting happened. Once I passed that learning curve, then I could quickly do models really fast. And it's just crazy, it just becomes exponentially faster. At the end, I could do 3 characters in one day with way more complexity and details than the previous one. Another thing I really enjoyed about working in Quill is that I could have the full control of the sets and the full teaser in one scene. I kept having these prototypes and evolving up until I got the final look. And I could quickly change some stuff, add like something from one scene to another without no time. So it was really fun. Pero debí tirar más fotos. So we work in a very linear way, where we did this storyboards, and then we painted some color keys, and then we painted the color keys in Quill, and added some lights in Blender. And camera movements as well. Don't try camera movements in Quill. And this is a bit of the result. You know, like this is my Quill mesh, and in Blender we just added lights and a bit of depth, and reused some of the other meshes from other shots to create atmosphere and stuff, as well as to change completely the mood of a scene. You will see it later. But we didn't want to paint. I didn't want to paint this twice, so we just used Blender to do that, and we are quite happy with it. Because we don't count with animators, we really wanted to have a high quality of work in our Quill to kind of like match up with our concepts and style, and we think we accomplished it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm here if you have any questions afterwards.
cenizas, que son más que cenizas. Leire Uturriza tiene un problema y es que se ha quedado sin leche. Nos lo va a contar ahora. We've run out of milk. Vamos, Leire.
Hello everyone, good morning. Today we're going to talk about We've Run Out of Milk, a short film created and developed by me, Leire Iturriza. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt trapped and you couldn't get out of? This is the story of Rosita, a little girl that one day wakes up trapped in a milk carton. She'll need to find a way to communicate with her father to save herself from becoming his breakfast. Rosita is a sweet little child of 10 years old that longs for the attention of her father, a man that is drowning in work and almost always on the phone, talking to more important people than his daughter. This is a story of how silence can be painful to many children and how this can affect both their growth emotionally and also affect their family relationships. In this short film, we will see Rosita in different situations trying to reach for her father with no luck. So if all these previous attempts did not work, how is she going to get out of the milk carton? This is a 3-minute short film of fantasy drama for all audiences that will be in 2D with the possibility of a 3D hybrid, as discovering Quill as a new tool really opened the doors for this project. At first, it was all fun and games. I could move around, frown, and find a lot of different dramatic angles with the camera, as well as immersing myself in the world of the story. That came up to an end really, really quickly when I found out that it visually did not work at all. Because I was thinking in a 2D production, but this is VR. So I had to take a step back, start all over, and try to analyze what I wanted to do and what I wanted to emphasize with the VR tools. And that was give more detail and have an illustrated look. First, I did some color keys in order to know what the final look would be, as well as using it as a reference for Blender. I had to redesign everything, and on top of that, I was in a crunch at work, so I decided to make a step-by-step guide for everything. That way, I didn't have to take off my VR glasses for a lot of hours, and that gave me speed, but also the exact look that I wanted. It took around 120 hours to do the teaser, and what was interesting is that I naturally did not go in 2D or 3D. I wanted a 2.5D look. So the model is actually the hands and the face is 2D, and the rest is 3D, giving it the volume that I wanted. And Blender was just the final step. Because Quill has a lot of tools to build up lights, Quill was just a bit of polish, a bit of lens distortion, playing with the composite, and animating the cameras. What I'm looking for right now is for producers, financing, and a team of artists to work with me in order to make this short film come true. Now you're going to see a teaser that is made with limited animation and that almost looks like stop motion. This is to emphasize not only the final look, but also the storytelling. And as we all know, por la mañana se toma café con leche. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy.
Dad?
Se lleva al aire, ¿eh? La leche. Bueno, aquí ya estamos en este punto. Los 6 equipos de artistas han presentado su trabajo. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo lo tenéis? ¿Tela? Ahora para decidir. Lo que está claro es que a lo largo de estos casi 2 meses, estos chicos y chicas no han tenido más vida que este proyecto. Además ha sido fantástico ver toda la evolución, cómo nos han contado las dificultades que han tenido y también lo que han hecho para superarlas y ese proceso de aprendizaje que han ido llevando en el día a día. Y por supuesto ver el resultado final, que además es el comienzo de un gran proyecto. Y tendremos tiempo de ver la evolución de cada uno de esos proyectos. Tarea tenéis el jurado ahora. Cierran los ojos con un segundo de más, pensando, ahora hay que decidir. Lo sabremos a lo largo del día, al final de esta jornada. Tenemos tiempo ahora ya para seguir un poquito más, para descansar a las 11:40. Por favor, regresamos para la siguiente conferencia que llega a las 11:45. Y chicos, chicas, ahora ya es el momento de soltar todo. Ya está hecho. Un aplauso, por favor.